What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. I don't know if you watched the Grammys like I watched the Grammys, but what a night. I know this is Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. And in the Court of Public Opinion, Beyonce, let's shout her out. Beyonce is that entertainer winning Album of the Year after 25 years of being nominated for a Grammy and never being nominated for Album of the Year. After 99 nominations and 35 Grammy Awards, she is the most decorated artist in the history of music. So in the Court of Public Opinion, we here at the Celebrity Court find Beyonce guilty of being the best in the game. We want to send love to Beyonce. Thank you for all of your contributions to the culture. Thank you for all your contributions to music, and thank you for all the contributions to all the lives that you have touched and changed as you have employed and given people jobs to the tune of millions and millions and millions of dollars, which, if you don't know, her tour alone has created its own economy, meaning she has hired and employed more people than a Fortune 500 company. My thoughts and prayers and love go out to Beyonce. There's no one better than you, and congratulations. All right, everybody, let's get back to it. Welcome to Celebrity Court of Public Opinion, where the biggest celebrity scandals go on trial. And guess what? You, the jury, get to deliver the final verdict along with the legal beagles and myself. Order in court, you know I'm Al Reynolds, and I'm your host as well as your judge. And in this courtroom, we break down the most jaw-breaking celebrity legal battles, expose the real-life consequences, and then we throw to you and ask you to decide where justice should land. Tonight, we got 6 explosive cases on the docket. First up, Tekashi 6ix9ine's extravagant jewelry collection has been seized. Yes, you heard me correctly. Has been seized by the IRS and put up for what? Sale. They call it an auction. I call it a good old swap meet sale. What happens when the tax man comes knocking on a celebrity's door? They take your jewelry and they auction it off to settle the debt. Then we're going to talk about Jeannie Mai and Jeezy's divorce. Guess what? Just got messier. Police were called over a property dispute, turning private heartbreak into public legal battle. And then rapper Finesse2Tymes is under fire for allegedly making death threats. Could his words lead to criminal charges? We're going to find out tonight from our legal beagles. And oh my goodness, Top Dog Entertainment, that's right, you heard me correctly. Top Dog Entertainment, who had artists like Kendrick Lamar, SZA, and Dolce, baby, you killed it last night. When I say you killed it last night, you killed it last night. Well, anyway, Top Dog Entertainment, the powerhouse label behind Kendrick Lamar, SZA, and Dolce, faces a lawsuit from multiple women accusing them of workplace misconduct. I wonder what that looks like. Better yet, I wonder what it feels like. Is the music industry about to see another reckoning? Well, we're going to break that down tonight. Also, Baltimore Raven kicker Justin Tucker, yeah, they say he's got a third leg, is being accused of sexual misconduct by 6 massage therapists. Yep, you heard me correctly. It takes 6 to hold down Justin Tucker's kicking leg. Could this be the end of his career? We're going to talk that over with our legal beagles. And finally, of course, you've seen this all over Instagram. An American woman is stranded in Pakistan after her arranged marriage falls apart. Could international law and mental health concerns decide her fate? Well, we're going to talk that over with our legal beagles tonight, so buckle up. We're breaking it all down, the legal implications, the celebrity fallout, and what happens next. And as always, you will be our jury, delivering the verdict on each case along with us, and also drop it down in the comments and asking the questions that you want us to answer. So before we get started, let me introduce the 2 legal beagles that is joining me on this Monday night, the day after the 67th Grammys. The shit I wasn't taught in law school, author Jason Weiss. Welcome back to welcome back to Celebrity Court of Public Opinion.
Thank you, Your Honor. Happy to be here.
And joining him is the one, the only humorist at law, Sean Carter, but not that Sean Carter, not Beyonce Sean Carter, but Sean Carter. Welcome back to Celebrity Court.
How you doing? How's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's good and enjoying your Beyonce. My wife, the wife of this Sean Carter, she didn't get a Grammy last night, but she got something else. But anyway, let's go on. Let's move on.
What did you give her that felt like a Grammy, sir?
Picture of Justin Tucker's third leg.
Don't forget to drop down in that chat and hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, hit the share button and invite some friends over to enjoy the law while we also gossip about these celebrities who can't stay out of our court. Also, don't forget to turn on the notifications and drop down in the comments because, as always, you guys know we love your input. Don't forget Jason Weiss emoji is a shield, Sean Carter's emoji is a clown, and my emoji is a fax machine. Throw them down in the chat for us so we'll know you're here and alive and ready to get started. All right, first up, Tekashi 6ix9ine built his brand on flashing wealth. Well, now the IRS is stripping him down, literally. His jewelry and music plaques are up for auction after the government seized them to settle his unpaid taxes. Under federal tax law, when you don't pay up, Uncle Sam takes what's his. All right, I'm going to throw this to you, Attorney Weiss. The IRS, do they have full legal authority to seize an auction so they can come and take it and auction personal property to recover your unpaid taxes?
So even here in Florida, where we have homestead and most of your stuff is protected, that will not protect you against the IRS. And I have a lot of clients whose registered office address is my office, and I get notices from the IRS all the time that they are going to come and garnish and take and collect items that I have for clients. And look, the IRS, that's the only person you cannot get away from. Maybe not even an ex-wife. The IRS, that's the only person. And yes, if you have an IRS debt, they're going to come and take everything. Jewelry, cars, homes, maybe things that they think are held in someone else's name. So the IRS doesn't mess around. So if you have an IRS tax notice and they're letting you know that they're coming in and they're going to come levy your stuff,
they really have the right to do it then.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so let me ask you this. Okay, Abby NYC, the MM family, said, I want some of that tacky jewelry. Adele says, looking like Chucky, if you ask me. XX Spicy Too Hot XX says, he's so tacky, I'm surprised his jewelry was real. Attorney Carter, let me ask you something. You know, besides them taking his jewelry to settle the debt, is it true that they can also do wage garnishment and freeze his accounts if he doesn't resolve the debt with this auction?
Absolutely. And I can't imagine he would resolve it with this option. Who the hell want to buy his teeth? Right? He got grills up. They got grills up for sale. That damn tacky ass shark pendant. I mean, what are you going to get for that? For $48? Now, he's got a couple of nice bags, and I got a couple of bids in. My wife is going to be happy with me. I got a Louis Vuitton, a Birkin bag up there. But no one's going to pay full price for this stuff, right? And if they don't have enough to settle that, they will come take your assets. You know, when most of us know about this, very sad and famous case of Joe Louis. Joe Louis had a bunch of tax debt that he owed from the 50s and 60s. And when he was in the 70s, he was at casinos. You know, they would hire him to be a front man, doorman. And they would come and take his money out of his pocket, all right, from the casino, right? When they want their money, they're going to get it. Red Fox, we've seen that. You know, even white people, Lindsay Lohan, they came and took Nicolas Cage's stuff. They will come take your stuff, particularly if you do it dumb like Tekashi did. This process, by the way, they don't want your money. They don't want that stuff. Well, who the hell wants that stuff? They want you to pay the money, right? So it takes about a year or 2 years for this whole process to go through. All right. He had all that time. He's just ignoring the letters. You know, the guy never filed income taxes in the first place. And I did want to make sure the algorithms understand this. I've been here, and this is why I want to give you a personal perspective on this. I have been at the end of the year where I owed taxes and didn't have the money to pay.
Me too.
The right answer is not to not file. You got to file, tell them I owe you the money. I literally put, I owe you this many $1,000 in the envelope without the thousands of dollars. Right?
and they'll work on a payment plan with you.
They'll be reasonable. It's not like, I understand like a lot of black people. I understand because you borrow money from a black person. It's ridiculous. All right, that brother wants his money back. Every time you see him, he want that $25 back. That's just pretty cool. Right? They'll be cool if you cool with them, but you got to contact them. You got to stay in contact. You got to answer the letters. If you do that, you can be good. But if you sit there trying to ignore them, I'm not listening to you, Jeffrey, then they'll take your teeth.
Right. Yeah, I will chime in here and say this because I am a P10 owner and have worked and filed taxes for my clients in a business management capacity. The key with the IRS is to create an open line of communications. It's when you don't have an open line of communications, it's when they really just wreak havoc on your life. Like they really do come in and really just throw it all out there, garnishments, auctions and all of that. But like Attorney Carter said, as long as you keep an open line of communications, there is hope. Now, let me ask both of you gentlemen this, because I'm thinking about his long-term career from a legal perspective. What label would actually want to take on someone with such a healthy IRS debt? Because anything that they produce for him becomes property of the IRS, correct? Meaning they can come after his money from the label or no?
Yes. No, they can come after whatever he is due. The record label is going to get out there. They're going to keep their piece. They're going to get what they want. Their money isn't touched. But when they want to go write him a check, the IRS is going to say, write him the check, but send it to us.
Right.
And that's the instructions are. But think about it, right? If he were coming and working for me and he was, making photocopies for me at $10 an hour and I owe him $100 at the end of the day, I just send that check to the IRS. What do I care? I don't care. So
yeah, but I'm saying he's probably not gonna come back to work if you ain't giving him no.
And he ain't coming to work to begin with. So it doesn't matter.
He probably won't come to work.
And that's the issue, right? He's not gonna come back to work.
He's not coming back to work.
And he must own a ton. He must owe a ton because he's already had, I think it was a Bentley and a Lamborghini that were both auctioned off. He got $260,000+ for it from the auction. And they're still selling his jewelry and stuff.
Well, remember, at one point he was making hand over fist. He was making millions and millions and millions of dollars. And I can imagine he probably did not pay any taxes on that. All right, let's go to our algoriters real quick. All right, jury, algoriters, viewers, this question is for you. Should the IRS have unlimited power to seize celebrity assets, or better yet, our assets, whether we're celebrities or not? Or should there be limits to protect their assets? What do you think, algoriters? Should the IRS have the ability? Should the IRS have the ability to seize our assets? Or should there be a limit to the amount that they are allowed to seize? All right, algoriters.
Can I ask one other question for the algoriters? Also, put in the comments, if you buy some of his stuff, do you also have to start snitching?
You know what, Attorney Carter. Anyway,
buy his stuff and auction it off later. Because
all right, next up, when Jeannie Mai married rapper Jeezy, they were Hollywood's power couple. Don't you remember all the pictures them walking to fashion shows in Paris at fashion shows? Now their divorce is turning into a courtroom showdown. New footage shows Jeannie Mai calling the police over a dispute about retrieving her belongings from Jeezy's house. When love fades, who gets to keep what is the question right here? I'm going to throw this to you, Attorney Carter. When it comes to property disputes, and I find this very interesting because I've gone through this and I wish that I was a little bit more clever, and I want us to teach our algoriters about the importance of this, especially if you're married. When you're going through property disputes and divorces, Attorney Carter, and it could lead to legal battles over asset division, right? Requiring court intervention. How do you protect yourself? Because let me give you an example of what I'm asking here. Say you get married, right? Okay. And after you get married, this is just basic stuff. Just not acquiring a house.
Well, that's your first mistake there, getting married. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, Tova.
Right, Tova, you're gonna be sleeping on the other side of the bed tonight.
It's all good.
But no, this is my question. So at the wedding, we had over 500 guests at our wedding, and we got tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of gifts. And I don't mean just anything. I mean some really extravagant, high-end gifts.
Right.
Shouldn't that be split 50-50?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you decide who gets what in that split 50-50?
It's truly up to, so when you go, you're supposed to look at all your marital assets, and you're supposed to go down a list, and you compile a list of everything, right? What you brought in is yours, what she brought in is hers, and anything that you got while you were together, unless there's a prenup,
Right,
of course, you split. So if you want the toaster and she wants the microwave, then you say, great. If you guys can't figure that out, then you could sell everything and split the proceeds. And you could also fight over it. Well, I really, really, really want the toaster, and she really, really wants the toaster. So we're going to move that aside. What's next? And if you're fighting over everything, then the only person that's going to make a lot of money off that divorce, you got it, the lawyer.
It's the lawyer. All right. So Abby, NYC, the MM family says gifts are for women. Really? Abby, whose side you on, sweetheart? Abby, whose side you on? Okay, so Attorney Carter, let me ask this next question.
Wait, we got collateral.
Oh, yeah,
we got collateral. We got
I'm doing
collateral.
my walkthrough, and what I'm personally checking for is my belongings. I've moved my whole life from Los Angeles to here. I also had a baby here. I lived in this house. I decorated this whole house. So yes, I absolutely want to make sure that my things are taken with me as
in addition to what's packed up.
I want to make sure. I can't say for addition. You might be right. He might have packed everything for me, but I deserve a walkthrough because of court order. So that's what I'm here for.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm going to, I might walk out empty handed. I just want to make sure that my house that I know is coming with me.
Okay.
And so it's leaving with just his house being his.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That I can tell which items are in each box, which is fine. I just want you to know if it takes me a while, understand why. Because I can't point out.
I have all day. I mean, I know you probably don't have all day, but whatever it takes, just
I'm
so
glad
we're
you have all day.
that
We're
we're
good.
all good.
We're totally good.
I mean,
Okay.
so for reporting.
Okay, so let me ask you this really quickly, Carter. Everybody hold your thoughts right there, please. So if one party denies access to a shared property, a judge may issue a restraining order or a court order for property retrieval. Is this what she had done?
Yeah, exactly. So she actually had an order that said within 21 days, she can come through and go into the property and get her stuff back. Jeezy, on the other hand, had said, told his people, don't let that crazy woman in. All right, no matter what you do, don't let her in. So they're calling the court back and forth, and he's getting his lawyers to say, hey, we're allowing her to get her stuff. I put it out in the garage, but I don't want her in the house because I think she's going to break stuff. She's going to put in recording devices. I don't trust her. Okay. And so while they're trying to get the courts to handle this, she decides to go in the garage and get all the stuff he had packed up for her. And
well, I gotta be honest. I would want a walkthrough. I think I deserve a walkthrough because he might have forgotten the things. If she says she decorated that house, she might have forgotten some things that she purchased that were hers. And she should have the right to walk through to make sure that he put everything that belonged in the box. Because let's be clear, Jeezy didn't put that stuff in those boxes. Right. He got someone to. He hired someone like that lady who's down in that garage, stopping her. He hired her to go in there and put that stuff that he told her that was hers. I think she deserves a right to do a walkthrough. I don't care how messy the divorce is. She has a right to go through that house to make sure that someone didn't leave something behind that she definitely put in there.
And I think that the court will probably agree, but she's not going to be allowed to do it unsupervised, right? There's going to have to be someone from Jeezy's team there, or Jeezy himself, or whoever it is, to walk through with her, filming the entire thing, because they want to make sure nothing is planted, nothing is left. She doesn't leave a present in the toilet. She doesn't break something. She doesn't take, the pipes, put cement down the toilet. These are all things that are common.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with that. All right, algorithms, this is a question for you. Should divorcing celebrities settle property disputes privately? Should divorcing celebrities settle property disputes privately, or is calling the police a necessary step? What you think? Drop down in the chat. Let's see here. Do you think it was necessary for Jeannie Mai to call the police to get help to get her things? I want to hear from you, algorithms. Drop down in the chat. Next up, rapper Finesse2Tymes may have taken things too personal. He's being accused of making death threats over a financial dispute. If prosecutors find enough evidence, he could face criminal charges that put his freedom as well as his career on the line. All right, Attorney Jason Weiss, I'm going to you. Is issuing threats, because I can imagine we all get caught up in the heat of the moment, can issuing threats result in misdemeanor harassment charges, or even, because they're talking about felony level terroristic threats? What goes from I'm gonna choke the hell out of you if you don't give me my shit to a felony level terroristic threat? Help me understand, Attorney Weiss, the differences and what's going on here.
So two of the quotes that I heard is "you gonna die on camera today." That's one, and the other one was that that they were threatening to up that fire. And I'm not sure if that one is as much threat, but you're going to die on camera. So look, when you say something and the other person legitimately believes that there is fear that they're going to do it, it's kind of like self-defense, right? You can use as much as you need to do in order to protect yourself. Well, if you have a legitimate fear that you are going to be set on fire or you're going to die on camera today, that is something that is absolutely going to bring down the police, and it's going to do all that. Now, how that is terrorist, I don't get it, right? You know, but maybe I'm looking.
Well, okay, even if it's not terrorist, how do they?
No, they said it was terroristic. That I'm not saying that to you, Your Honor. That's what it's saying. So I don't know where it gets that. Maybe if it says I'm going to take you to, you know, the woman claims that they ran in a panic and that it was being threatened to be taken back to Memphis. This all has to do with a protege, right? This young guy, King, and King was a protege of Finesse, and supposedly this woman who's not his mother, not his guardian, not anything, they were fighting over this kid, King, and where he should go and who should take care of him. So that's what this all gets to, right? It's having to do with the safety and welfare of a child.
Now, Attorney Carter, this little kid ain't normal. His mouth is reckless. He's disobedient. I would want to beat his little ass. Like, seriously. And I'm a grown up and I'm in education and we're never allowed to touch the kids. But what are Finesse's options in this case?
Well,
because let me tell you, I have never seen such a young kid saving texts, doing TikToks, doing lives, piecing the shit together, calling his dad like, you know, incompetent. Little Gronk. Right. And see, we got to remember, for Finesse2Tymes, this could lead to a conviction that has fines, probation, and jail time, which leaves him in a front row seat with Child Protective Services.
All right, so let's get back a little bit of Finesse's situation here, because Finesse, by the way, is already done 5 years on a gun charge. All right, so he is definitely, if he gets anything near a gun charge on this one, the gun part comes into effect where his brother is there. Finesse says to the woman, and by the way, the woman is his legal guardian now. Finesse, it's unclear whether he's the kid's father or not. There's some connection there. He's definitely, he describes him often as a protege. He's a mentor. So it was his little, you know, it was like, remember when we had Lil Bow with Snoop and Lil Bow Wow? It was just kind of that, right? He's little Finesse. All right. And so anyway, Finesse says, you're gonna die today. His brother then reaches into his waistband and mentions he might up that fire. And so that's where the assumption of the gun thing comes in.
So why isn't the brother charged? Why is Finesse?
Well, and he will be charged too. But I looked at that and I was like, wait a minute. So if you don't have the gun, right? I'm always telling you don't have the gun. Yeah, if it's a coordinated attack between the two of you, right? You're both responsible for whatever happens in that situation. And so he actually can be charged as well for if he had told his brother to do it for him, had said, hey, if it gets bad, pull out that gun. If the brother's carrying the gun for him. Right.
So I thought that this was Finesse2Tymes' son, because Laker N5 says that's not his son.
There's some question. He's not the guardian. The guardian's this other woman, and
but I thought Finesse was the dad.
No,
he might not be. We don't know.
No, it doesn't seem that either of them are related to the kid, and she was acting as the guardian, which I think the articles that I've seen, they're not saying she is the guardian, but she was acting. So I don't know what that means.
Okay, guys, this is getting a little weird.
It's weird. I mean, and I don't know. I even asked where the guy's parents are. So F.N.G. King, his parents, his mom is in prison. They don't know where his dad is. If he's got a daddy, but who knows where he is. All right. So he doesn't have natural parents take care of him. These two are fighting over taking care of him, which is really weird because I've had 4 11-year-old boys, and y'all could have had any one of them. Right? They could have gone up with Tekashi stuff in auction. I ain't give a damn. But everybody's fighting to get this kid. And his song ain't that much. He got one stream single out there, but he ain't worth going to jail over. And it's just bizarre to me that this is the case. But let's be clear. Finesse is in a lot of trouble if these allegations can be proven. Now, remember, we got similar allegations right now going on in the A$AP Rocky case, and where we can't argue. And so, if no one saw a gun, right, then there's an argument that maybe there wasn't one, maybe that wasn't what the up that fire is kind of a vague statement. So it might not go back on gun charges. But if there's any gun involved and it can be proven, he's got problems because he's already got. That's so
interesting to me. That's so interesting to me that we are all just learning how crazy possession of a gun can lead to jail time quicker than we think.
Well, remember, this is in Texas,
and Texas and California. You bet not.
Well, no, Texas. I think you're born and they give you a holster, and when you can walk, they give you the gun, and when you can
give some of us.
So why is he facing such hard disciplinary actions in Texas?
Well, right now we don't know if he's getting any disciplinary action. Right now, he could face charges. Unlike in the other case, where he had a prop gun supposedly, and he's being charged with that. So there is some, and I also think the fact that what Attorney Carter said, the fact that he already did some jail time and he served 5 years, that's already a strike against him. Probably.
Okay, here we go. We got some intel. Okay. Laker N5 says he took the child in as a mentor father figure. He let the boy run wild at first, then tried to switch up and bring structure. So King wanted out. Okay, got it.
I think I think that's a great. Thank you, Lakers N5. I think that's a perfect description of what I heard. And in the video, there's a video going out where F.N.G. King, the little boy. By the way, little boy, put a shirt on. You don't have pecs yet. All right. You just out there. You look ridiculous. All right. But he's in this video and he's like, he tried to control me. You know how I am.
Yeah, no, I saw that. He's like a little kid. I'm like,
what? Man, you ain't, please.
I promise you. Are you even out of the 4th grade? Miss Shady Miss P said, Judge L. I thought this show was about celebrities. Who is Finesse rapper and his bratty son?
I actually had to Google it myself. All right, don't sleep on Finesse here. All right,
he reminds me of the Simpson girl's boyfriend. All right, Russell Motley, a former colleague from Florida Memorial University, says, "Why is the judge sporting a hoodie? Who does that mean? I don't have a hoodie on. This isn't a hoodie. This is faux locks." All right, XX Spicy Too Hot XX says he had an unhealthy relationship with a child, acting like they were besties instead of being a proper mentor. I agree 100%. All right, algoriters,
Kid Rock and Joe C.
Viewers and algoriters, this is a question for you. Are social media threats in your mind as serious of a legal Are social media threats in your mind serious legal offenses? Are social media threats in your mind serious legal offenses? Drop down in the chat, algoriters and jury members. Is social media threats serious legal offenses in your mind? All right, next up, everybody, let's keep it moving. Next up, TDE, which stands for Top Dog Entertainment, the label behind superstars like Kendrick Lamar, who took home 5 Grammys last night, and SZA, is now at the center of a major lawsuit. Multiple women claim that they've endured workplace discrimination and misconduct. Could Top Dog Entertainment be the next label forced to change its ways? All right, I'm going to go to you, Attorney Carter, on this. Now, this is really serious, but I hear you got something to teach us about the difference between being a W-2 and a 1099 employer. But this is my question. If found guilty, will Top Dog Entertainment face healthy financial damages and be forced to implement new policies? What say you, Attorney Carter?
I would hope so. All right. I really would hope so. They launched, like you said, Kendrick Lamar, SZA, but they need to launch is an HR department. All right, that's what they need to launch next. All right, because they don't have policy. Now, let's be clear. What they're accused of, these are just accusations.
Yes.
Are the 2 plaintiffs. All right, so let's call them Jane Doe and Jane Roe. All right, but Jane Doe says that she's hired around 2019 to do public relations and marketing stuff, and that one of the founders, I don't know if it's the father or the son. I can't figure it out here. But he keeps making unwanted sexual advances, and
It's
at
the
one
father.
point, it was it for father, okay, and at one point touched her, and she also
it's always the old man.
It's always so.
It's always then she
Okay,
accuses.
so what do you mean touched her? What type of touch?
It just says engaged in battery. I hope I didn't want to know.
Unwanted touching. It really doesn't matter.
So battery. When someone touches you and you don't want them to touch you, that's considered battery because it's unwanted.
You got it.
Correct.
Jesus Christ.
Now, don't get me wrong. If you just touch someone in the back or whatever, you know, no one's going to come take you to jail or take all your company. I'm assuming that he touched her somewhere that was really, really inappropriate. He also says that, by the way, the other, and this is what's weird, the other partner, all right, also was trying to hit it. All right. And as a result, we're talking about both of them, father and son. You guys, brothers, come on, pick.
Who's the dad and who's the son in this picture? They both look young.
Yeah, I know. Well, actually, the one on the left is a father, and the one on the right is a son. You don't like, don't crack. All right. So the point is this, though, but it should at least they should put some distinction there. The second plaintiff is even more interesting. She was a friend of a TDE artist. So she doesn't work there or anything. She's just hanging out with one of the artists there. And they said that they kept trying to come on to her. And at one point, while she was underage, they tried to give her liquor at some company function to get her drunk. She doesn't say anything happened. She doesn't say anything happens, but she wants to sue because they've been trying to come on to her. Now, remember, we got an independent, we got someone here who may or may not be an employee. She's been paid as an independent contractor. And that makes a difference. And the other person is just a friend. But if you're an independent contractor, under federal law, you don't have the rights that everyone else has to be avoiding sexual harassment.
Well,
California, however, fortunately for her, does have a law that says if you do anything inappropriate in a workplace and anybody comes in, customer, anybody, that's you. But any other state, most other states don't have that rule. And so you have to be a W-2 employee to be able to take advantage of sexual harassment.
Oh, sexual harassment. Protection.
right.
Oh, wow. Okay, so then let me ask you this then. This ruling, right? If it's in favor of the plaintiff, could set new legal precedents for the music industry. Because I can imagine that the music industry, up until Diddy, was kind of like a come on, free fall. You grabbed, you got grabbed. It is what it is. You're in the studio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
That's what it was.
So I find it so interesting now that a visitor can come into the studio, not have anything to do with the artist, not have anything to do with the label, but if something goes down in that studio that was considered, quote, inappropriate, the label and the artist can find themselves in legal trouble.
Yeah.
Definitely the artist, but not necessarily always the label. You know how everybody has their own company and everybody has their own production company and this, that, and the other. So by the time you get to Universal, if you're doing this not on their property, right, and they've got nothing to do with it, they could say, hey. And mostly, by the way, if you have an agreement like this, most often there's an indemnification clause that says if I do something really dumb that costs you a bunch of money as an artist, I owe the label back the money.
Oh, well, of course they're gonna get their money. All right, XXI Spicy Too Hot XX. Thank you for the super chat. Woo woo! Thank you. We really appreciate it. That really lets us know that you are enjoying the show. All right, jury, this is a question for you. Should record labels be held publicly accountable for workplace misconduct, or should the courts decide based on who the artist is? Let me ask you again, should the record labels be held publicly accountable for workplace misconduct, or should the courts decide based on the incident with the artist? Drop down in the chat and let me know what your thoughts are. And please do me a favor. We have over 100 people joining us tonight. Can someone please, for Attorney Carter and for, the ones that love Attorney Weiss, you guys please hit that like button. Also, please hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, please hit the share button and invite some friends over to watch the show with you, so that only that they can learn about the law, but they can hear about all this good, juicy gossip surrounding these celebrities. Also, don't forget to turn on your notifications, because coming up soon, we're doing a show about all things Diddy, where we're having a former FBI agent turned attorney break down everything dealing with Diddy, along with the wonderful attorney Simone Redwine. Please turn on your notifications so that you get that notification. You do not want to miss that special. Moving along, speaking of third legs, 6 massage therapists have come forward with allegations against NFL kicker Justin Tucker. Tucker. If these claims result in legal action, his career and his team's reputation could take a serious hit. Now, Jason, I think I'm trying to throw this to you. Tell me what's going on with this case. Also tell me, could Tucker face civil or criminal charges? And if he's facing criminal charges, could he also face civil lawsuits, which could mean significant financial settlements?
All right. So first, I think we have some material for this one that's there. So let's see what we got.
You can hear it as it's going up and down. It's whipping up the cream.
You know what? The judge did not approve
until you get whipped cream, which you can tell because it gets really stiff.
Oh my!
Now, Justin Tucker has been kicking field goals for the NFL for 13 years. The man's got a third leg. I mean, a golden leg. So, all right, look. The truth of the matter is, this is all supposedly happened about 12 years ago, 2013, 2014, 2015. So
this is at the beginning of his career. He was making a little bit of money. He didn't really understand all the ramifications. He thought, happy ending parlor. I can afford it. He goes in, he gets his body massage and just wants a little extra.
And that's what it is. And look, the NFL is going to investigate it. They've already opened up an investigation. If you read between the lines in the New York Post and a couple other things, the investigation is already being opened. They're looking into this. He is not, under the same scrutiny that Deshaun Watson was,
right.
Which was,
a multi-millionaire.
Right. And he's got money. Don't kid yourself. He's got significant money. I mean, he's a Pro Bowl kicker. I think he's won a Super Bowl. I mean, so he's okay. What you're saying? No, we didn't win a Super Bowl.
Oh no, you're right. And we didn't win Super Bowl, but he's got a current contract is $6 million a year for the next 4 years.
Look, and he's got money. He's fine. The problem is this. Look, the NFL is going to do an investigation, and they're going to find what they're going to find. And look, there's a chance that he might not kick in the NFL. He might decide to walk away. But right now, publicly, he's fighting this. And he and his lawyers are saying, none of this is true. And they're attacking. They're not attacking, but they have an answer for every comment. For example, they're saying that when he got up the table was moist. And he was saying, well, it's a warm room, and I was all sweaty, and that's what it was. And he's also, there were comments about that he had oil, and he had body oil or sweat. And then one of the therapists is saying that she said it was semen. I know what semen looks like. I have dated men. So I mean, so then they're saying he exposed himself, and his lawyer is coming out and saying, well, look, if you're taking care of the inside of his thigh, because he is a football player and he is a kicker, there is a good chance that he might slip out, or that he might get a little bit aroused. And so they're saying all this. They're saying basically that none of this was intentional. It's all just, happens when you go for a massage type deal.
I think it's part for the course. I think if you have someone rubbing your body intimately, I don't think it's unrealistic to get a boner.
Look, we were all teenage boys.
To get a boner, and I think touched in certain spots in the right time, and depending on his freaky, he might leak a little bit. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that, as long as he's not trying to actively involve the masseur into any type of inappropriate, touching or fondling or anything else. This is my thing. Every spa that I've ever gone to and gotten a massage, right there in the fine print says that the masseuse has the right to end the massage at any time. I don't know if you guys read the fine print before, but that's what it says, especially when someone is rubbing on your body. You have the right, the massage therapist has the right to end the massage at any time, right? So in this case, was it one time or multiple times? And where's the responsibility for the massage therapist who felt that their safety or sexual misconduct had happened? Why don't they end the massage?
And why is this coming out 13 years later? I mean, that's a good question. That's the thing, right?
It is, but let's be clear. Their allegations, remember, it's just allegations. They say that actually they threw him out. And the two massage parlors said, we don't let him come here anymore because he's nasty. All right. And so now here's the weird part about it is he went to these places. I looked up one of them. All right. I go to Baltimore, and it was called the Sean Carter. Look, no, here's the thing is it's called a wellness center.
I bet it is.
He said it's a wellness center. I'm like, okay, that is obviously not a happy ending place. All right. The happy ending place, it's in a strip mall, right? The little place. All right. I'm not going to warn you, but trust me, you'd have been there. And the point is this, though. It's like these NFL players have got to stop putting themselves in this position. 3 other women have come out since this article came out and said he did it. Now, I don't know if he did. They don't have a civil case because it happened so long ago. All right. But it will ruin his reputation. They'll probably go into and try to extort a little money out of him. And here's where the NFL players keep putting themselves in this position. Every team hires massage people. Yeah. In addition to that, if you want to get a private person because you don't want to come into the stadium or whatever, they also have a list of approved NFL providers.
Yeah, but you can't be leaking on approved employees of the National Football League. That I'm smart that they're not pulling it with these private.
No, exactly. But that's the point.
But all I'm saying is he could easily hire these masseurs that are down with the get down and role play in your own house.
Well, exactly. But if you do that, understand you're gonna have problems. All right. People will be able to come back to you 13 years later and say, let me get some of that $6 million. All right. And the bottom line is that because here's the problem is there's the NFL ones. They're legitimate wellness places like you've been to.
They don't want a wellness place, Attorney Carter. That's the whole point.
No, and then there are legitimate
wellness place. If he wanted a professional to massage him for the medicinal or whatever the physical rehab of massage, and he'll use who the NFL sends him. He don't want that.
Yeah, but when he showed up at his door with his baby oil, he got a little freaky on that one. So
JP Mills says since he likes showing off the third leg, I want to see it. Sonny Clark said he rubbed the wrong Deaf God says Tucker's innocent. Abby NYC, let's see what she's gonna say. He did not look happy on that table. Oh gosh. All right, Taria Williams says, if you like the live, please share and hit that like button. I agree. Toria Williams says Tucker is a good dude and an opera singer. I had no idea. All right. Abby NYC again says what did she say?
I like the shock and awe
Oh
of
gosh, there's so many. Hire men for that. They don't complain. Oh my God, y'all are so dirty.
No.
He said, all in a rub room. I'm clutching my pearls.
Yeah.
Jeanette Hunter says, those NFL players need to stop getting massages. Toria Williams says, yes, it does, Al. So they could have stopped what they were doing because they just seen he got a good contract and a third leg. She might have liked it. Delaria Washington says, take your ass to sleep when you get a massage.
No, but here's the thing is, and maybe I'm doing it wrong. All right. If I've gone to the Four Seasons, and I've been a few times, I'm not bragging, but I've been a few times. All right. Okay. You've been too. All right. There's no happy ending at the Four Seasons. Matter of fact, for $300, I'm very unhappy. All right. There's no happy ending. So if you go to a legitimate place, that doesn't happen. All right. But you go to a legitimate place. But on the other hand, if you try to get your extra third leg rubbed at the Four Seasons, they're throwing you out of there.
Right. And they'll probably sue you, right?
Exactly.
All right, everybody, let's keep it going to the last topic, which has been dominating social media for the last few days. An American woman is stranded in Pakistan after her planned marriage fell apart. Her family claims that she may be mentally unstable, and now Pakistani authorities are deciding her fate. Should she be allowed to return home, or is she stuck in legal limbo? All right, after I ask this question, we got some collateral.
It's none of your business. Live here, I'm chilling. It's none of your business. Now go home.
अरे बाहर निकालो दिखाओ ना हमारे एरिया की बहू है हमारी बहू है बाहर निकालो I am a doctor I check it one to all
Make sure y'all get this on your camera. I'm married to Nidel Hamid. I'm Onaija Hamid. We are moving to Dubai very soon. We're gonna have our baby in Dubai.
Where is your family now?
It's private. I'm Muslim and it's against my religion to tell y'all my business. Have a nice day. And he talk too much. That's it.
Yes, that's it. Yes, I'm saying. ये भी देखे यही मेरी बात की तारीफ कर रही
है. You talk too much. Thank you. Have a good day.
You know what I thought was so funny?
Please.
Let me tell you what I thought was so funny about this. The lady goes to every press conference with her luggage and her pocketbook. Like she's like ready for any proposal. So you can take her home tomorrow. But this is a question on a legal front, Attorney Carter, and this is serious business. Okay, deportation cases. Mm-hmm. And this is interesting because if if anyone brings up this mental illness component, deportation cases involving mental health require international legal coordination, right? So they could technically ship her the fuck out of there.
Oh no, they can definitely and will. All right. She asked for, in addition to, she asked for now for $100,000 from the government. She said, she'll rebuild all of Pakistan. She wants a $3,000 a month allowance. She gonna get an Uber ride to the airport. All right. They'll put her on that plane. And here's the weird part is they're gonna charge her when she get back to the US for that plane ride. Because the U.S. has a deal that says if a foreign country has to send you back, we'll reimburse them, and then
and President Trump's gonna put a tariff on it.
There you go, right?
and he's gonna send her to Mexico, so it don't matter. He's gonna be like, "Look,
she's a problem.
She's a criminal. We're sending her to Mexico.
Put her ass right up out of here."
And here's the thing: is you mentioned about mental health. Mental health, oftentimes, in any other context, would be a consideration. But not deportation. All they care about is, are you here legally and do you have a case of asylum? And normally asylum means I'm in danger. And obviously she's much more in danger in Pakistan than she is here, right? And so she doesn't have a case for asylum. She's coming back. whether she wants to or not.
This is what I really am hoping this young lady, she's getting all of this public press. What she hoped doesn't happen is that her fate lands in the hands of the local courts. Because the local courts, as it relates, right? The local courts, as it relates to custody disputes, which is what she's making this, could put her ass in jail and she ain't gonna ever be able to get out.
And that's what's crazy to me, right? It's like, I don't know about you, but I go to foreign countries, I am the best I've ever been, right?
Right.
I don't jaywalk. All right. I don't even ride shotgun. All right. And definitely do not, I don't observe the 5-second rule. I don't do none of the stuff I do here, right? Because you know that if you go in another country, you don't have the rights. All right. As bad as it is here, it can be worse elsewhere. And she out there, like trespassing in the airport. She stayed in the airport for like a week. She won't leave, even though she's, her visa has expired. You got to go, girl. All right, just come on back. He ain't like you. That's okay. All right, there's a brother here.
He's 19.
Right?
She looks like his grandma.
Somebody.
He's 19. She looks like his grandma. No, that ain't gonna work. Abby NYC says the MM family says, I'm with Carter. I'm scared to get into trouble. All right, everybody, this is the point of the show where we come to you as well as the legal beagles to decide who's guilty or not guilty in celebrity court of public opinion. First up, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Attorney Weiss, is he guilty or not guilty for not paying his tax debt and having a whole bunch of tacky jewelry?
He's guilty of needing new teeth. And maybe the IRS will let him keep a couple dollars to do that. But guilty and get everybody get on there, because Attorney Carter said there's a Birkin bag, so I got to go on and see.
I definitely need to go on there. Attorney Carter, guilty? Attorney Carter, guilty or not guilty?
He is guilty of everything, and don't worry about those teeth, Attorney Weiss, because those are up for auction too. All right,
he's going to star in Joker 3, so
he looks like Joker 4. All right, this is Al Reynolds, and I'm your judge here in Celebrity Court. And we're going to find Tekashi 6ix9ine guilty of being stupid, because you need to pay your taxes, son. You can't make all that money and just think that you don't have to follow the law. You're not above the law. In fact, you're finding yourself beneath the law now because your stuff is on an auction block. Next up, Jeannie Mai. Is Jeannie Mai guilty or not guilty of causing havoc on Jeezy's life because she wants into that house? She wants to smell and see if there are other panties in there. Attorney Carter, is she guilty or not guilty?
She is not guilty, Your Honor. She had a right to get her stuff back, just like you said you wanted to go and walk through in the house. He put her stuff in that dank, dirty garage. And by the way, Jeezy, we just found out you got mice in there. You got mice traps. All right, you got a real trap house. All right, literally a trap house. Your rich self.
Attorney Weiss, is she guilty or not guilty?
She's guilty of not believing him, but she's also guilty of making a publicity stunt. And if she really cared and really did whatever, her lawyers would have been on with the judge, and there would have been no filming and no cops and no nothing. So they're just both guilty of being dumb. Get this over with and move on.
I'm attorney. I mean, Lord, I'm the judge. We're gonna find Jeannie Mai and Jeezy guilty of getting on my nerves and being on my timeline on this relationship that is over. It's done. It's kaput. He don't want you. Move on. Get your stuff. What you didn't get, make a list, send it to the courts, and have them pay you for it. It's that simple. If it was yours and he's in possession and won't return it, he has to pay you for it. Come on, Jeannie Mai. You have very expensive attorneys. Use them to your benefit. Next up, Finesse2Tymes. Is he guilty or not guilty of threatening this little boy's life? Attorney Carter, what say you?
I can't say he's guilty of that. I am going to say that everybody involved, both him and the guardian, are guilty of not whooping that little boy's ass from time to time. He needs whooping about 3 times a week, whether he did something wrong or not.
I say society is guilty for not taking this boy away from all of them and putting him in a good place.
Yeah, I'm Al, and I'm the judge here in Celebrity Court. And I think in public opinion, I'm going to have a little bit of empathy for Finesse2Tymes. It felt like at first he didn't know how to be a father, and he let it get out of control. looked like he really ended up wanting to take stake in this young man's life, and he tried, and he realized that this little boy is beyond control. Because you can't start parenting a kid at 12 when you haven't parented them for 12 years. Like, that's just not going to make any sense. So I'm going to find Finesse2Tymes not guilty to find the best in him wanting better for the young man. All right, next up, Top Dog Entertainment. Are they guilty or not guilty of trying to take somebody's Tootsie Cat or not, allegedly doing too much touching and too much harassing? Attorney Weiss, are they guilty or not guilty?
I think they're just guilty of being dumb is the best way to put it. And our bailiff passed me a note saying that this looks bad for Kendrick calling Drake a pedophile when his label has all this going on. So, thank you, bailiff, for sharing that note with me and making me look like I know what's going on.
That's some good fodder right there, right? What do you say, Attorney Carter? Are they guilty or not guilty?
Oh, I don't know. The father-son angle really works at my heart. You know, father and son getting in business. I'm in business, or been in business with my son, and that's a really cool thing. And by the way, just for clear, we ain't touched nobody. All right, we ain't asked nobody, we ain't hired nobody. I gotta say though, considering they're in the rap business, it's about a 98.6% chance they did something.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm the judge, Al Reynolds, here in Celebrity Court. And let me tell you in public opinion what this is given. Unfortunately, we are in a media cycle, in a cultural cycle of exposing the hip-hop community and all of those in the creative space that rap or make music and make hip-hop. And we're learning that it was so unregulated, right? And I think that they are clearly being made another example of this cycle, this trend that we're in of exposing people that made other people feel uncomfortable.
And look, Attorney Carter is scared he's doing his own makeup before the show. I mean,
and you know, you're right in this sense. I think it's an important thing for at least society is that I told you the NFL has rules now of like who you have to go to and if you go to an outside person, you got to report it and et cetera, because I understand they have problems. And hopefully rap, I mean, it's hard to get the industry together, but hopefully they'll get together and say, hey, we're going to have to start having code of conduct. Right. The standards we put together, just like any big company would, because we got too much money on the line. We're not running this out of Pookie's basement anymore. Right? We got real money on the line here.
This is the deal. You can't rap and sing about licking it up, shaking it, riding it down, flipping it, and taking it and beating it up and pounding it out and getting all these people hot and they sitting in the studio and you get them all worked up and all of this, and then you try to enact what you just sang about, and they're like, like there's a lot going on. There's a lot.
You know the lyrics a little too much, Your Honor.
I know, right? So in the court, we're gonna find Top Dog Entertainment. Unfortunately, guys, during the trend, this is a trend right now. You got to be smarter. So in the court of public opinion, you're looking guilty. You're looking guilty. It's not good. Justin Tucker. All right, Jason, Justin Tucker, is he guilty or not guilty of trying to get his third pole greased?
I think he's guilty of hitting the uprights. No. Look, I think that as a whole right now, anybody who's in the public eye has a bullseye on them. Football players, baseball players, everybody. Rap, and even in the rap community. So I think things that people did 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, why are they coming back and haunting him now? There's nothing other than ruining this man's reputation and career. And if you got that, then go to him and settle privately. But look, I'm going to go with Justin Tucker on this one, and I'm going to say it's good.
All right, Attorney Carter.
As someone who frequently bets on the Ravens, I'm going to have to say he's not guilty and encourage him to go back. This was a few years ago. You were better before when you were doing all this stuff. This year you suck. So you need to, if you need to go in there and
try to get that leg, to get that leg worked on.
Yeah, because your accuracy is off.
And right, I'm Alan, I'm the judge here in Celebrity Court of Public Opinion, and we're going to find Justin not guilty.
Yeah.
Not guilty. Nothing wrong with the little bump and grind. As long as you're not trying to sexually harass someone and make them do something that they want to do. And like I've always said, they have the right to end the massage if anything inappropriate is going on in that parlor room. Last but not least, the American woman stuck in Pakistan. Is she guilty or not guilty of trying to find love? Attorney Carter, what say you?
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the picture. She guilty of a lot of stuff, all right? I don't even know how to put it. But I tell you what, she is guilty. She about to be guilty of being American Airlines frequent flyer. Because you coming back, girl. Come on back.
Attorney Weiss?
So if the 19-year-old guy that flew her over there was flying her over there for sex, isn't that sex trafficking? So, I don't know.
No. Remember, it's not sex trafficking if he was going to marry her.
Exactly. So that's what this all comes about.
But he didn't marry her. I think he saw her get off that plane and she didn't look like she looked on that FaceTime. He said hell to the no, because the woman on the FaceTime clearly had eyebrows. We're going to find this lady guilty of not having eyebrows, and also guilty of catfishing. You need to get your life, young lady. Now, you're getting a whole lot of attention over there with the Pakistanians and all that great stuff. I do wish you the best, but in the meantime, here in Celebrity Court, you are guilty for catfishing. All right, everybody. Tonight, we covered it all, from financial ruin to messy divorces to criminal threats and industry scandals and even an international legal dilemma. Now, the real verdict is up to you, but we want you to keep the conversation going online and let us know, did our celebrity defendants get what they deserve, or should justice have gone another way? Think about it and drop down in the chat with #CelebrityCourt. And thank you for joining us for another day here in the court. Court is now adjourned.